Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Brewer and Terry Huberman.
Well, hello there. I'm Terry Huberman, and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast.
And I am your co-host, Kathy Groover, and we are so happy to be back with you for another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about downloads and getting that cosmic information. First off, though, we have to pick our angel card.
Yes, we do.
Oh, this is a good one. The angel card of the day is forgiveness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let go of resentment, judgment, fears, reduce your investment in staying angry or hurt. To forgive is to live in a world that is at peace with human nature.
Yeah.
Wow. A client yesterday brought up to me forgiveness and self-forgiveness. And yeah, we'll have to do an episode on forgiveness because
I think it's a good idea.
Huge.
There's a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot to unpack there. Is this the universe telling us we should do today on forgiveness?
I mean, if you want, we can. I'm here for it. So.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So forgiveness it is.
So forgiveness it is. Thank you, random card generator. Forgiveness is one of those sticky things that when I'm coaching clients, I have so many people that say they just can't, they don't want to. That means that they're weak. That means that they're allowing the person to do stuff. And, you know, none of those things are true. Forgiveness is actually one of the strongest things you can do. And forgiveness so often actually isn't for the other person, it's for you. So if you're holding something against somebody else, one, they're living rent-free in your brain, which is, you know, why would you let that happen? But also it drags you down into this negative energy, right? I mean, it keeps us stuck, don't you think?
Yeah, I think there's a perception of what forgiveness is and or should be. And that's where we kind of get stuck in the chain, right? It gets a little bit kinked up there. Because a lot of times we're thinking if we forgive someone, that means we're letting them or the perpetrator, the other person, whatever, or the circumstance, like that we're letting them get away with it.
Right.
So that's where we get stuck because we're like, no, it's not okay what they did. And if I forgive the circumstance or I forgive them, then it's okay what they did. No. That's not the way it is. So there's maybe it's a distortion of what forgiveness is. And so that's why it's really hard to kind of let that go.
Well, and I think there's almost, and this sort of just came to me, there's a sense of pride in that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like I'm strong and I'm going to hold on to this thing.
Sure.
The actual definition of forgiveness, because Capricorn needed to look that up, the intentional act of letting go of anger, resentment, and the desire for revenge towards someone who has wronged you without necessarily forgetting or excusing the offense. It's a personal process. It leads to emotional healing and improved well-being. Forgiveness does not, this is great. Forgiveness does not mean erasing the memory. It doesn't justify or minimize the harm. It doesn't mean that you're restoring that relationship, and it is not a weakness. It's an act of self-compassion.
Yeah. So it comes down to the attachment, really. If you think about it, that's what I was picking up from what that was putting down.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bottom line of that. Yeah. The attachment to...
And when I'm working, the perspective that I take when I'm working with my clients with forgiveness is releasing the energetic attachment to it. So it's kind of complicated in a way, but it's also not.
Right.
Because of the way the human brain thinks, that's all. And we humans are complicated. But if you want to just get to the brass tacks, it's just the attachment. So it's a lot easier for me to say than do. I understand, but just let go of the attachment, right? Yeah, sure, Terry.
Well, and it's so funny because I've had clients say, but how do I do that? And I'm like, you just do it.
You do it.
I mean, we could put together a complicated ritual. We can cut cords and light candles and burn paper and, you know, put them in the freezer, whatever you need to do. But the bottom line is you just have to.
Yeah. And it can take time. And I think that's the other thing is that people, well, my clientele, they're ambitious and anxious and they're overwhelmed. So like they need to get stuff done now. The problem is that you're on your timeline, right? And then what timeline you want might not match. Right? Because it's still a process of evolution to forgive someone or to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So there is an evolution that's happening. And of course, in my studies, in my practices, it's the human that helps evolve the higher soul or the soul, right? So when you're when time is a factor, it's just gonna actually make it longer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking about what you just said. And what came to me is, I think, a question that I've asked people when they talk about, I just can't do it, I don't want to do it, what do you get from holding on to that?
Right. Well, there's also a fear behind that, if you think about it, because, well, a lot of times when we're doing forgiveness, like authentic forgiveness, oftentimes means having to revisit the circumstance, the situation. And what does that do? It puts us in pain. Human beings do not like to be in pain. So a lot of us will avoid being in pain.
Yeah.
So therefore, we're not going to do the work.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, how else are you supposed to release and let go?
Sure. Well, and I think we need to let go. We talked about attachment, but I think we need to let attachment go of the secondary gain we're getting from not forgiving that person. Are you getting attention? Are you the one that's right in your friend group? Does your family side with you?
Yeah.
Is your ego getting a boost because I'm better than them because I didn't do that? So I think asking, what am I getting from hanging on to this is a really good question. And if you say nothing, either I don't believe you and then just let it go, or you need to dig deeper.
Yeah.
I had an old friend. I mean, I haven't seen this person in decades. Her dad left her mom for one of her college friends.
Ooh.
And there was still decades earlier, this woman was now in her like 30s or 40s. And she wouldn't talk to her father. Now, this guy married this woman.
Wow.
They fell in love. They had a family. They were happy. It wasn't just a fling. And I honestly feel like, if it was just a fling, that would suck. But the fact that he actually did fall in love with her, not that justifies cheating and leaving, but it seems somehow better to me, that it actually was a love thing and not, I want to sleep with this woman. But this girl, she just could not, she didn't want to talk to her father. She couldn't acknowledge her friend. She could not forgive that. And I said, but does it make you feel any better that they're happy that this was like sort of what was the connection with it? She goes, nope, I hate him and I will never forgive him. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah, well,
she's hurting you, not them.
Yeah, she's getting definitely getting something out of it. And but see, a problem with that is if you don't do some sort of internal reflection or investigation, you may not even know what the secondary gain is.
Yep.
And so you're holding it on even longer. And it's like, it just becomes even more of a hot mess.
Yeah.
But that's also part of, if I bring it back to the spiritual aspect, that's part of their path and their evolution. Maybe it's what they came in this lifetime to overcome.
And maybe one of your lessons is forgiveness.
Or even just reflection.
Yeah. Know thyself. Or it left. I watched it float away.
It'll come back.
that not even the acceptance of it, hey, this happened and I have to say yes to this.
Yeah.
Because we can fight against, but what we resist persists.
Absolutely.
So if there's something that you're unhappy with in your life, no matter what it is, the more you focus on that negative thing without trying to actually transform it into something, it's just going to stay. The more you push it away, it's just going to keep knocking on your door.
Yeah.
So maybe your lesson in this lifetime is forgiveness or acceptance or loss, or I don't have the blueprint to the universe.
No, I think I would love it too.
Oh yeah. Maybe we could. Does Amazon have that?
Yes. I'm sure it's on Kindle somewhere.
Oh, great. I can't read on a computer though. I would like a scroll, like to show up and like by a donkey delivers it. Anyway, forgiveness. So forgiveness, once you've moved past that, makes you feel lighter. It opens up that space so that you can accept other things. Something's going to fill the space that you've just opened up from that forgiveness and that acceptance. And why do we want to hang on to this negative stuff? It just eats at us, right? That's what causes dis-ease.
Yeah.
Is us glomming onto this negativity and this feeling like I'm better than, or I'm right, or you hurt me. It's this almost sort of childlike thing. Oh my God, your dog's being adorable in the background.
Is she good? She's digging for gold on the couch. Good for her.
I know, right? Go for it, girl.
Save us a block.
Exactly. So if you have a client who's like no understanding that they need to forgive, but just seriously resistant or stuck in that, what would you advise them to do? I mean, we've got to change our mind first, right? But then what do you have a ceremony? Do you have a method that you use for that?
Yeah. Well, most of the time what I do is I use what's called the heart hug method, which is a method I created where we open up the energy of the heart because it's the largest electromagnetic field of the body. It can actually, it's through entrainment, which just to quickly explain is that you have the electricity of your heart kind of gobbles up and eats, think of like a Pac-Man, lower frequencies and vibrations. So if you're, let's say, I don't know, what is when you're not forgiving, you can resentment. Let's just say the energy is resentment, right? So when you open up the heart, you can neutralize those resentment frequencies. So once those become neutralized, and I'm working with them through heart coherence and using their heart, then there's a type, it kind of takes you out of yourself into more observation mode. So then you can say, well, okay, how am I judging myself because of ... right? Because I'm a firm believer, and I've seen this with my clients, and that is that self-forgiveness is really the big thing in all circumstances, right? Yeah. So if you're like, for example, I stayed in a relationship for 4 years. I should have ended it after 1 year, right? So I'm harboring a lot of anger and resentment at myself that's being projected onto him, right? So I have to work on the forgiveness of myself, okay? So I work on the forgiveness of myself, but how was I judging myself?
Yep.
Because I held on. So then we start working on the judgment energy. And through that process, that is how we release the attachment. Yep.
Beautiful. I love that. I was in for 20 years, so I got you beat on that one.
Yeah.
And well, I did have and to your point, I did have those. How did I do? I should have. I'm stupid.
Why did I? I mean,
well,
everything.
We did.
Yeah.
And we were there for a reason, and we learned from it. And now it's over. You know, it's only this moment. And we are here's the other thing. All we have is the now.
Yeah.
So we can keep hearkening back to the stuff from before that we want to hang on to and not forgive. But this sounds kind of flip, but like, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's gone. You can't undo it. But so my method for helping with forgiveness, and then we just have a minute left. I'm a big letter writer person. So I will have my clients write a letter to their mom, their ex, their whatever, saying whatever they want to say.
Yes.
And then we work with that letter. And then I have them write a letter from the other person back.
Ooh.
So powerful.
Yeah.
So
I'm
crazy
getting chills.
powerful.
I'm getting chills on that. That's a great technique.
And I've had clients go, I don't want to do that. I don't understand that. And I'm like, trust me, I don't give homework for me. I give homework for you. And if you don't want to do it, you can say that, but I'm going to push you to do it, especially the letter writing one. It's so good. Yeah. So we've got the heart hug, we've got letter writing, we've got meditation, and all this, there's other great tips. Yeah. And either of us can help you work through that. So and we have hit our time. I'm Kathy Groover. I can be reached at kathygruver.coach.
And I'm Terry Huberman. You can reach me at terryhuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to hanging out with you again in our next episode.
See you next week.